Hey, you guys. What if the movie sucks?
They the hottest on the block, it's the Brocast. If you're nerdy and you rock, it's the Brocast. Josh and Dino won't stop, it's the Brocast. Go on and hop up in the cockpit, it's the Brocast. We are your Star Wars Connect, it's the Brocast. Movies, games, and TV we dissect, it's the Brocast. Pop culture ain't seen nothing yet. It's the Brocast.
Wow.
After many, many years, we are back.
How long has it been?
It's been 84 years.
I don't know why we try and act like we talk about anything else on here besides Star Wars related things.
We had a few episodes. We had Jaws movies. We had Aliens movies.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. That was not one of our better broadcasts. No, don't get me wrong. Your editing was top notch. You had a lot of little snippets busting in there, but
Your slick back hair was top notch, sir.
oh well. Looking back at some of those videos, it was funny and depressing at the same time. Some of the early ones, I'm like, wow, that was like 10 pounds ago. Look at that. So,
Bro, I'm a full, at least I don't say weight numbers. I measure it in toddlers. I'm at least a full 3 toddlers up since the last video. Yeah,
well, you guys have had a toddler since the last one, so
I know. I know,
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, shout out to Harrison. Yeah, just put him to bed with the ear infection.
Big
H dog.
H dog.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by Celsius.
Oh, I love that shit. Yeah.
So our work has a bunch of little fridges around the office, and they just keep these suckers stocked. You just grab and go anytime you want.
Oh, see, I'm in party stores all day, so I developed a white monster habit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those are good. Those are good. And there's no sugar. I just, I stop when I start vibrating in my car on the way home. Ugh.
Just pure caffeine.
Oh, yeah.
Keep
I'm
you
getting
running.
old, bro.
I know you are.
At mid-30s, it's 8:30, and I'm drinking coffee right now. I'm like, oh, Dino's going to keep me up till at least 9:30 tonight.
This guy. Can't take him anywhere. Here's our agenda for this evening. This is another Star Wars. It's been 2 years, over 2 years, and a lot has happened in the Disney Star Wars universe. So
for our 10-year absence, we're going to cover like 100 years worth of Star Wars today.
Josh and I were trying to figure out like what Star Wars topic to cover. And we were bringing up Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, all these different things. And he said, why don't we just go through what
All
has
of it.
happened so far and then what we're looking forward to? Because each one of those, there's not a
Current
huge
state.
conversation. Right. Current state and then looking forward. So what's happened so far since we last met? We had Ahsoka, we had Obi-Wan, we had Mandalorian finishing up. We had Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Empire.
Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, we didn't even put that on our list, did we?
Yeah, because it was such a flaccid show.
We'll talk about just how bad it was, but
Yeah.
the real controversial one, Acolyte. And we're definitely going to dive into that one tonight. And then afterwards, we'll just dive into a little bit before we close out on some things that we're looking forward to that are coming up.
Coming projects, speculations.
Mandalorian movie, trilogy. Josh, I didn't even hear about this. You told me today, Dawn of the Jedi.
Dawn of the Jedi.
I'm too busy working. I didn't even know what was going down at that. So that's kind of cool, actually. So let's
I like the idea.
let's jump into this. Let's get to what we need to catch up on. Where do you want to
So
start?
we left off talking about Kenobi. I don't even remember. That was our 10th episode.
Okay, then let's
I don't remember if we were like, I think we were at the point of just speculation. Like we knew nothing about the show yet. And we were just talking about what we wanted it to be.
I don't even think there were any teaser trailers out.
No, there were those nice fan-made YouTube trailers of like Ewan McGregor walking around the desert.
Yeah, we had no idea what we were going to get. So let's talk about this. What we got. What are your thoughts, sir? Initial thoughts.
Okay, so my initial thoughts, strong cast, weak storytelling. Reva is a useless character. You'll see a lot of right-wing YouTube trolls talking about how she was the diversity token for Obi-Wan. And as much as I hate to like put it in that category, she sucked. They could have done the whole series without her. I honestly believe so. When I think of Reva, all I think of is, why are you cock blocking my fight with Obi-Wan and Vader? Spliced between her getting her ass handed to her by farmers.
Okay, I'm going to push back a little bit.
Reva
The
said that.
concept of the character was good.
Yeah, but it was like they just took an idea and just threw it at the wall and just kind of
And that's what I'm saying. So there's
improvised
this
it.
idea for a character that was good. I really think, and this is sort of different than typical Star Wars parts, I think it was just a really poor casting job for that character. Not that because she was black or female, but because she just as an actress was not that good. She was so that was the same emotion
Well,
every
yeah,
line she had was
because look at like Obi-Wan. Even if you don't agree with the writing, he saves it as an actor. He saves it.
Hello there.
So you just had a wimpy actor with a wimpy script, and her story didn't help. It didn't do much. You
I
know,
didn't mind the story. I thought it was
he
kind of
survives the gut punches a bunch of times. Obi-Wan is supposed to be setting everything straight, and he just lets her run off.
I thought it was cool to see a personal take, like the personal view of an inquisitor. I thought that was kind of neat. I didn't. There were some really good actors in that show, and she wasn't one of them. And because she was a main character, I think it dragged it all. Like the Grand Inquisitor, I can't remember the actor's name. He was good. That guy can act. Like he was deliver lines and just nail them. And hers was just once
I
in a
would
while
take
she'd
in a
yell at the
side
camera.
plot of him training fresh-faced inquisitors, killing useless ones, and him hunting Kenobi.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool.
Yeah,
Um,
but
there were some episodes that just dragged. Just dragged.
that too.
I thought at first the little girl that's playing Leia irritated me. I'm like, oh no, I got to go
Oh,
through
I
this
loved
series.
her.
But very, I was gonna say, very quickly though, that actress crushed it. She was a little Leia. It was perfect.
Oh, yeah, no, she fit it. Yeah, obviously Ewan was great, but Moses was just the letdown. Joel Edgerton was good too. Seeing Owen like young and hating
Mm-hmm.
on Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but God, I can't think of little Leia's name.
You realize
Uh,
you're gonna have to do all the actor and actress' names because I don't know. Ewan McGregor. That's all I can give you.
okay, well, Baby Ice Cube is in there.
Baby Ice Cube.
O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's son. He was part of the Rebels. Yeah,
That's Ice Cube's son?
yeah. You didn't know that?
No,
Oh shit, yeah.
I had no idea.
Vivian Lyra Blair is young Leia.
Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, it's been a while, but I have full faith that my brother, while we're talking about these people, is going to splice in pictures and clips because that's really what makes Brocast is Josh's editing job after. It's not our cute mugs. So
No, it's the 12-year-old sense of humor cut in between our cue mugs.
exactly.
Yeah.
But let's get to it. So all that is well and good. But I would say at the end of the day, Kenobi gave us one of the top three fight scenes in all of Star Wars.
And performances. That was emotional as hell.
Hayden, welcome back, my friend.
Yeah.
You did such a good job. Just a couple lines. You did such a good job. That fight, that was, I will go back sometimes and just rewatch that episode.
I've rewatched that fight. I found YouTube edits where they take out all the shit at the farm and it's just them
Excellent, because I have to do that myself.
trapping. Yeah, yeah. No, it saved me a hand, but it's just perfect.
That was,
And then him getting his face smashed off is a callback to the animated series, and then how
you
it's
didn't
like,
kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. That line blew my mind.
oh,
So well
that's
delivered. Oh,
that's the UFC Joe Rogan.
That's exactly what that was. As much as I
He
don't
says
like
that.
Joe Rogan, sorry, Joe, I use that little gif all the time when I'm making stuff.
And then how it goes from Obi's saber to his, and his face lights up red, and then he's just full Vader.
I remember
Yeah.
reading an interview where that was just accidental. That wasn't on purpose that it went blue to red. It just happened to be the way the sabers went.
You ever see that? You ever see that meme that's like, can't wait for the Kenobi finale, and then it's like me watching the Kenobi finale, and it's just a guy in a dark room with his face completely lit up blue from his phone screen. Like, kind of sums it up. There's some great YouTubers who like touched it up, took out the farm stuff. That could have been its whole own thing. That was legendary in itself. That was worth sitting through filler episodes and questionable
Oh yeah.
choices. And Kenobi's tale from Street Butcher back to Jedi Supreme. Yeah, it was
So
emotional.
Speaking of filler episodes, let's switch to Ahsoka. Oh, oh, he did it. He did it.
Oh, oh man, Ahsoka.
Oh,
I feel like it's like those Marvel shows. There's just a great name on it, and you just watch it regardless of what happens. From a fan
they
perspective.
they could have filmed 5 or 6 episodes of a camera pointed at a blank wall if the episode following all that gave me Thrawn. That's really someone of my generation who read the books. That's all we wanted. Just give me Thrawn, and they gave us Thrawn.
The big important things were Thrawn and the flashbacks to the Clone Wars.
So I don't know the name of the episode, but the one where she goes into was it the universe between or whatever it is, and sees
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm
Anakin.
talking about.
That episode is just like the one we talked about in Kenobi. That's an episode I go back and play over and over again.
Yeah,
None of the
that
other
was.
episodes in that show, but that one, I can watch that episode every day. It's incredible.
Oh,
Hayden
and the
crushes
way
it.
it's done with like the camera work and the shadows of him switching between Vader and himself, and little Ahsoka. Yeah, chef's
He
kiss.
did this dude, the much maligned Hayden Christensen, back when he was younger and did episodes 1 through 3. I thought he did a better job in these episodes of shows that they keep bringing him back for than he ever did in those episodes. Like he is crushing it when they're bringing him back for these things.
Well, you watch interviews with them, then it's people like us that feel that. Like it's the fandom. It's all these years later going back and seeing like episode 3 was great. It's okay to hate sand. I'm perfect the way I am.
Episode episode 3 was good. There's when he was younger, he still couldn't deliver lines very well. And I get the Lucas writing.
I don't like sand.
George Lucas has got like a third grade writing
And
ability.
his love for Microsoft PowerPoint screen transitions. Yeah.
It's really bad. But now you give this poor guy some decent writing and he's crushing it. Like it's so cool to see. That episode was fantastic. There were some really I loved having Thrawn, but at the end of it, that was, and tell me if you agree or not,
Dave Filoni also.
the most lackluster end to a season. I've like it just
Oh,
sort of like
tease. Yeah. Yeah. I had more fun with the speculations when I turned the TV off of what was coming than
found some
what I
hermit
actually witnessed.
found some hermit
Yeah.
crabs with a VW bug, and she got stuck there, and Thrawn gets away, and that's that.
Basically.
And she's
Yeah.
stuck with hermit crabs.
And that's kind of the state of Star Wars. That sums up the state of the whole franchise.
Like it gave us some cool things to watch, and then it was like, eh. And did it give us
You'll
good
be-
characters? Ahsoka was already a good character. That's not a new character. Um, Balin was the only good character. What was his name?
Balin Scroll.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
great character.
Ray
But that's
Stevens.
it.
See, that is how you do an Order 66 survivor
Yes.
man on the other side.
Yes.
Yeah.
His apprentice, useless. That character gave me nothing in that show. But his character was great. And if the rumors are true, and tell me if I'm wrong again, but the person they're bringing to play his replacement is the guy who played the Hound in Game of Thrones.
I prefer chicken.
Yep.
That guy. Did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
Yes, finally, after decades of being told to.
The Hound is incredible. That guy's an incredible actor. They did a
Yeah,
great
buddy.
job casting. Okay,
It's gonna be a.
that brings us
it'll
to
do.
The Acolyte.
Yeah, let's talk about the real.
We may
Wow.
lose one of our 7 subscribers, but I really, really like The Acolyte.
The
I really
Acolyte
did.
was it was fresh. It was different.
It was definitely different. It gave us a different view on a lot of things, different view on the Jedi Order, on sort of background Sith going on.
The corruption and the politics, and
All that, which fits in perfectly in the storyline.
hell yeah.
The Sith apprentice in that. Oh my
Oh, he
God.
killed it, bro.
That guy needs awards. He's one of the best characters because we're talking about like, did it give us a good character? So I was
Manny
talking about this
Jacinto,
on-
yeah.
That
His-
guy
his-
is a hell of a character.
That was Quymir, but I don't think they ever gave him like a Sith name in the
No,
show.
they never showed us a
But
Sith name. The thought was season 2 would give us all that because drum roll, Darth Plagueis. Like that's almost as big a deal as giving us Thrawn. They gave us a view of Darth Plagueis for like 2 seconds, and then Disney pulled it out from
you get
under.
all these like detailed backstories and these Star Wars spin-offs to characters nobody gives a shit about. And then what do you get for Darth Plagueis? You get a little shadow in a cave. Like
Okay,
Nosferatu lurking in the
but that was a cool tease if they're going to give us a second season.
I think they were under the hopes that they were, but
Dude, you're Disney.
certain
You have
certain
all the
things
money in the world. Just make it. Who cares what trolls say? Just make
certain
it.
things get caught in the crossfire of the political climate we live in today. And I feel like the Acolyte fell victim to that.
And here's the thing that bothers me about that. Everyone started complaining about the witch coven, right? And they started losing their minds because it's a bunch of women and witchcraft and blah 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 blah. And oh my God, the leader is black. Who cares? First of all, second of all, let me go back to first of all. If that even bothers you, then you're just a human piece of garbage. But second of all, it fits the universe storyline. Like they were in the animated series. Like all of
Yeah.
that fits perfectly. It's not something
The
Disney
witches
made
are
up.
part of it. Yeah. It's not
It-
like Kathleen Kennedy laid an egg and,
all this stuff like, oh, Disney wokeness created all this. No, that was in there years ago in the animated series.
you're just seeing it on the screen after you learn the word woke and tagged it on anything that wasn't, conventional.
And I have to question I mean, these must be like the trolliest of trolls living in mom's basement. If a bunch of scenes with chicks bothers you, like really it bothers
That's
you that there's
weird.
chicks on your screen, would you rather see a bunch of dudes living it? Like, why is that bothering you? I don't get it. I saw
Um,
nothing wrong with the coven. The honestly, even the actress that got to play, the twins, it's one person, but I think she did a really good job too.
Still, backtracking, Master Soul, Lee Jung Jae. That was my favorite on there. He learned English in like 3 months just to do the show. He was so geeked about it.
When you told me that, that gave me a whole new level of respect for him. Because at first I was like, okay, this dude is obviously not a English as a first language speaker, but he
And he's kind of phoning it in. But
right, but no, that's impressive because I'm on freaking Duolingo trying to brush up on my Italian, and I know how hard that is, and I already learned a stupid language. That's impressive.
Gabagool. Hmm.
It was just, and then forget. Okay, that's all the acting and the storyline. The fight scenes, seriously,
The choreography. The
the
choreography is
fight
what
scenes
another thing that made it.
when
I
when
don't care
when the stranger
who's
came in
fighting.
and cut through those Jedi like butter. Come on, dude.
Like it was nothing. In
That
an
was
age where there's apparently like no Sith even running around with formal training or anything.
Forget the fact that it was just a cool fight scene. It shows you how watered down the Jedi Order became, and when you finally bring an actual Sith Lord in there,
Yeah, nobody has any idea
no,
what they're doing.
no,
Oh,
dude, that
yeah.
was I.
The first
I'm gonna
time I
go out on
saw
a limb
that,
as a whole series, as an entire series. I would say the Acolyte was better than Obi-Wan and better than Ahsoka, and beginning to end.
no, listen, what Obi-Wan did was it just provided nostalgia bait for us.
Right.
No matter how that show turned out, unless they just did something completely off the wall. We
Unless there
were
was a
going to say it
Vader
was great.
Kenobi love scene, there was no way they're gonna screw that up for us.
Well, you never know with the woke folk at Disney, but the they talk about the limited budget of the Acolyte. I hope at least 90% of that went to the stunt guys and the choreographers because that was, whew, yeah.
I thought that was beginning to end a really good series. But what are you gonna do? In today's political climate, that's just one more thing that got ruined. Dumbasses.
No one's ever going to be happy. We're going to
No.
we could get Star Wars whatever tomorrow, and there's going to be a subsection somewhere complaining about that rock in the background was gay. Like
I saw
nobody.
I saw the way it looked at me.
Yeah, no, there was a rainbow in the sky. Yeah, that's that subtle Disney.
That's subtle. They put it in there.
Oh,
So
my
I
God.
honestly, moving to Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire. I know I watched episodes of those. it kind of jumped back and forth between different characters. I thought it was kind of cool. I honestly don't remember a ton of it's been a while.
My standout was Yaddle, watching Count Dooku transition from light to dark,
That was cool. I
and
remember that.
and seeing them bringing Qui-Gon back. That episode on the farmstead, that was my favorite one with Dooku and Qui-Gon when Dooku completely loses his shit.
I don't think maybe I didn't see that.
Oh,
Is this Tales of Jedi or Tales of the Empire? Tales of Jedi?
Tales of the Jedi.
Okay, because I know they
Yeah,
did a
it was
whole
one
other
of,
Tales of the Empire series.
oh yeah, it was one of the first episodes, and it was just Qui-Gon and Dooku going to like negotiate the release of a hostage on a farm, and then while they're there, Dooku gets caught up like and seeing how corrupt the local officials are, like killing the farmers and shit, and Dooku just loses his mind and completely kills everyone there.
Unloads on them. Okay.
But you're like, oh, that's not really dark side. I understand why he's doing that, and then after that, you start seeing him slowly,
The slow slide.
unhinge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always feel like I'm hamstrung with a lot of these things because I don't like animated series of Star Wars. I've never gotten into any of them, and I know that they're really well done. Like Rebels is incredibly well done, but at the end of the day,
Rebels is great.
this animation is killing me. Anyway, that's just
I'm on the same. Hey, until like a year and a half ago, I never watched anything animated. I always said, "Oh, that's stupid cartoons. I don't.
yeah.
I'm not a kid anymore." But lately, it's become quite a Predator.
I
Not to get
saw
off
that
Star
coming
Wars.
out.
Yeah,
Hunter of
that's
the
going to be
Hunters or
animated.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
Killer of Killers.
but even like going to Marvel, what really changed my mind was the Spider-Man movies, the Spider-Verse
I
movies.
still have not seen them, but I've heard they're good.
They are insane. They are, that is quality movie making. I don't even
Okay.
realize I'm watching animation
Okay.
while I'm watching
I'll
it.
check it
Yeah,
out. So, a teaser for our next episode, I would suggest we do the rebirth of this specific Marvel universe, the Daredevil, Punisher, maybe a thought for our
absolutely.
next episode because I've been watching the Daredevil like last night. I binged a few episodes.
Did
Dude,
you get caught up all the way?
dude, I don't think so. I think there's one more.
Oh, last night was the best episode yet. It was
Oh,
insane. I was like in front of my TV, like I
so
couldn't,
the one I finished with last night was when he confronted Frank Castle in the basement, and then it kind
even
of
then,
ended with it.
that was a stellar acting job on his
Dude,
part. He is
dude,
killing it as Frank
both
Castle.
of them. I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is really good acting and writing.
Hmm.
No, I'm sorry. The bank heist that went wrong that's the last one. That was after that.
That leg stomp at the end.
It was good. It was
Chef's
really
kiss
good.
on the. Oh, that was great too.
We
Yeah,
went off
that
on
was
tangents.
how you do a filler episode. That bank
Yeah, that's
episode.
exactly what that was, but it's really good. All right, pull up, Porkins. We're getting low. Uh,
That's okay. But
let,
hold on,
let's.
hold on. You know what we missed that everybody in the universe, even the right wing trolls we keep going back to, said was amazing was Andor, and I can never get into it.
Did you actually watch it all the way through?
No, did
Okay,
you?
so yes, and here's what I'm gonna agree with everyone else and with you because I was like 3 or 4 deep and still saying like, when is this gonna get going? It is the slowest starting series. What it's doing is it's developing characters forever, and then at the end of the series, it just all lets loose. Please watch it. There's a prison episode.
That's what I hear about all the time.
You didn't get to that one, did you?
No, I literally watched the first episode and then I back
What's
shelved it,
is it
forgot about it.
Andy Sarkis?
Andy Circus.
Yeah. So he's in the prison episode. And like every role he does, he steals the show. Like
He
he's
kills
just
it. Yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
Right. Dude, this prison episode is epic. It's so good. And then from that point on, the whole series is just good.
Is it epic on like an action level or writing? What do you mean it's epic?
Yes. Great action, great
Is it like
writing,
a prison escape?
Yeah, I don't want to give it away. Sorta.
Oh, well,
Um,
with season 2 coming, I now have to
you just go back to where you left off, try to remind yourself, and then go from there. I guarantee you will like this show. The acting is
all these things we
very, very
discussed
good.
though.
What's his name? The guy who's in the Thor movies, the older guy. Oh my God.
Which one?
He was like the scientist in the Thor movies. in Avengers. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the Mickelson, Mads Mikkelsen, or
Yeah,
not Mads Mikkelsen?
he's a
No.
Scandinavian guy.
Skarsgård.
Yeah,
Skarsgård.
yeah, yeah, Skarsgård.
Yeah.
So Skarsgård. I mean, he's
Stellan
in,
Skarsgård.
dude. The act. There's a monologue he does about sacrifice. It's like a famous
Oh,
monologue. It's all over the
I'm
internet.
not. I'm not gonna lie. I saw that monologue on TikTok.
Okay, but watch it in the context of the series.
Even taken out of context,
It's one
it
of the
just
greatest
yeah.
monologues in, I'd say, top 10 in movie history. It's so good. So, but I get your point that it's the slowest starting. Like, when is this gonna? I don't care about this like office worker in the Empire. I get that, but it does pick up. Just trust me on that. Just like I trusted you on Daredevil, trust me on that.
Oh, was that my yeah.
Yeah, I'd never really watched Daredevil, but this is really good. Okay, uh, Mandalorian.
So
Do we even dive into that, or like is that a
no,
whole
wait. You know what we totally disregarded because it was so forgettable that I
Book of
like to
Boba Fett?
call it the no. We'll get there. We'll get there. Speaking of giant piles of shit, the the kids one, the Goonies inspired one. What was that called?
Oh,
I had high hopes for it, and then I just fell off. I couldn't
it
get
was
back on it
okay. It was,
with Jude Law.
yeah. What was it? Jeez, I'm having a brain fart. We just watched the stupid thing.
We
It was
seriously
Star Wars
did.
for little kids. I get that. It was
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. It was Goonies, like exactly Goonies.
You were right though. As somebody with a live 9-year-old running around my house, that was the only piece of Star Wars I've ever had on where it actually caught her attention. She like sat down and was
No,
into
I
it
mean
with
there
all
was,
the goofy characters and the funny kids and
and the big surprise ending was like, whatever. Who cares? It was a droid. Like whatever. But for kids, kids will be
yeah.
like, ooh, wow, is it like? I get it. And because it's Star Wars, I'll have to watch it. Like they could
Well, at
put
the
a
end of
bunch
the
of
day,
Jedi's
that's
in
how we do
diapers and I'll
things.
watch it because I have to. But yeah, it was
Well,
okay.
one day you and me are going to be in diapers watching this shit, like literally.
Yes, we will. But yes, thanks for bringing that up. Forgot about it because it was forgettable. Um,
Yeah.
I think Mandalorian is probably a good bridge from catching up to looking forward because it's going to be in both categories. Um,
I loved The Mandalorian off the bat, and then it just progressively sunk. And then, like all these other things we're talking about, it was my love of the first two seasons that got me through the third season.
Here's how much it was forgettable to me when it kept going is I forgot there were 3 seasons. I'm like,
Yeah,
there
I
were
mean,
three.
season three really lost me at the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo.
Yeah, it was a season full of fillers.
No. It was like, running a D&D campaign, and then you just end up helping 10 different villagers find their,
Right.
it was all side quests.
A
It was
bunch of
just,
NPCs.
yeah.
Let me ask you this. So let's for time's sake, let's get to the end of it all, right? The Luke Skywalker cameo. Forget the fact that the CGI was crappy and that anyone in their basement could have done better
Oh,
and actually did.
the score, them setting up his ship, his landing in there, and then him tearing through
Yes.
those droids. Amazing. Yes.
That
Yes.
it took a season that was Porkins pull up, right? And it
Once again,
it hit
these
that
are
three it
things how
hit that
you,
3 meter that target right down the pipe. It was so good. What a
oh,
wonderful way to end that series.
oh, you know, I love going back to people pulling up Kenobi saying only a Sith deals in absolutes, and then you then see Luke Skywalker on the show saying you can only have the saber or the armor. Okay, you selfish little green prick. What are you doing? Yeah,
Okay, all that proves is that episodes 1 through 3 had horrible writing. That's all that matters. That's all that
I feel like they just. Well, I even read that like Disney was outraged. The higher ups at Disney were outraged. Like, how dare you put Grogu on hiatus? Like, I don't care what you need to do. He needs to come back. So they're like, oh, we'll just take everything Luke Skywalker stands for and fill it with diarrhea and ship him back. Yeah, we'll just have Grogu nonchalantly land in a speeder with Mando in an episode of Book of Boba Fett because nothing else exciting is going on in that whole series. Yeah.
So Boba Fett was one of those characters that my generation used to idolize because he was mysterious, right? It's like, ooh, he's a badass, and everyone's afraid of
No,
him.
this
And never
turned him
really-
into a Wilford Brimley commercial.
And so then, right, and then you gave us too much Boba Fett. Like, I don't need to know what he has for breakfast and all the details.
And half of it is him marinating half naked in a back to tank.
Yeah.
Because every fight he does get into, he inevitably gets his ass kicked. But Book of Boba Fett, everything has its upside in these shows.
Wait,
Cad
hold on.
Bane
Before
was
you say it,
badass.
say it again.
Cad Bane.
Oh, see, here's the thing. I was about to say, but it gave us, and I was going to say a different name.
Who are you gonna say?
Cobb Vanth.
Okay. Tim Oliphant. Yeah. That was badass.
So
I like that.
as someone who read the uh what is the series Aftermath book
Mhm.
series? Did you read them yet or no?
No.
Get
Yeah.
the audio books and listen to the series. It
On
is
my
the
commute, I have no excuse not to.
it is the best storyline in all of Star Wars since the original movies. They have not made any. They give us hints. Cobb Vanth is a
I'm
hint to
going
those
to
books.
flash this book over the screen
He
as
is
we
Clint
speak.
Eastwood from pretty much any Western Clint Eastwood was in.
Clint Eastwood's the same character in every movie.
Right. Put in Star Wars. He's exactly that. And the
Okay.
stories, the little cameos in the books, you're like, God, this guy is so cool. And then all of a sudden Mando is like, oh, it's Cobb Vanth. This is so cool.
See? But he was subtly used in there. Now imagine when my children are
Yep.
40 and they get the Cobb Vanth TV show and he's just some fat slob that doesn't get anything done.
Exactly. That is a
And then
perfect.
they call Uncle Dino and he had a heart attack
I
watching it.
thought
and
you
that's
said
it.
Cobb Vanth was cool, man. What the heck?
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
That's basically what happened to you.
Now the millennial biker gang was useless. Had no didn't need that anywhere.
No, it looked like they were writing a script for a new Blade Runner series and a Star, and then they spilled coffee on it and they just mixed the pages up together and then submitted it because I had no idea what they were doing with their weird little implants and their
I did like the couple Gamorrean guard thugs that kind of follow him around.
Oh, that's great.
They were
we always
super
wanted those.
surface level and just funny. They had no
Okay,
real
but-
depth.
But remember when they were like fat clunker prosthetic suits? I hate to
Yeah.
talk to you like this, but back in your day,
Yeah.
yeah, and like one of them in this show, it looked like a Power Rangers villain because it was literally just like a guy like painted. You're telling me that's a pig? Yeah.
You're telling me. His wife might call him that, but it doesn't mean he looks like one.
I wonder if there's any continuation of Star Wars where they cook those guys, where they make like a mean brisket out of them. Huh.
All right. So
My
that brings
God, we
us
got
to-
the Rancor at the end too. The Rancor. All I waited for that whole show was
I
him to
know,
ride
but
a Rancor.
it was still to bring an old 60s term, it jumped the shark a little bit.
Yes, it absolutely did.
Riding the Rancor in the back. Okay, we get it.
And nobody was more disappointed than Boba Fett himself and how that show turned out and how that basically tarnished him ever having a chance of coming back. But Mandalorian, we got off.
So this is going to bring us to Mandalorian past and then the future. Let's take us into looking forward to. Go ahead.
Well, Mandalorian, I absolutely love Westerns. So that show was just amazing. I was like, oh my God, my favorite one thing meeting my favorite other thing. And then I loved how I would be happy if they never talked about it again. The way season 3 ended. You go through 3 seasons of them just becoming dad and son. And then do you remember how they ended season 3? And then he finally formally adopts him. He takes him out to train him as a bounty hunter. And then it ends with, it's like the end of a Hallmark movie. It's like a little hut in a pond that they live in together.
Yeah.
And he's sitting out on the thing like a dad, and Grogu's like playing in the front yard. That could have been it. And then leave it ambiguous. Let my imagination fill the void. But we are getting
We're getting a movie, right?
we're getting a movie with Jon Favreau doing it.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be good.
It will be good no matter what. But my initial thing with that was I hope I get this movie and then it's done because just kill it. Jaws 1 was great. Jaws 2 through 12 was shit.
2
now
wasn't bad. That's a different episode. See our YouTube channel for that episode. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jaws 6 bought Michael Caine a mansion. That's all he knows about it. But but now they're milking it. Like they're already talking about how they're working on this one, and then what's in store for Mandalorian season 4? I don't want to know.
So here's the thing. I think they're in panic mode right now because the last couple projects have been like lackluster as far as fan reaction. All they need
Uh,
is one more thing to sort of take root, whether it's Dawn of the Jedi or New something's where the fans are
They
going to
need to
lose their
plant the
minds,
seeds to invest in another 10 years worth of something.
and then they can let go of some of the old standbys if they find something new. Which honestly, I was hoping was going to be Acolyte, but here we go.
Acolyte, I will never forgive that. I wanted season 2 so bad.
I did too. That really.
I don't want to keep going back to that, but outside of a couple semi-boring things, I really couldn't find much wrong with it. And I would purposely look up troll reviews of the Acolyte and just watch people try and, yeah, you know, let's just blame Kathleen Kennedy and not actually look into why anything might
I
or
think
might not
here's
be.
what I'm going to blame on the downfall of the Acolyte. A bunch of scrubs who've never had a date living in mom's basement because they've never kissed a girl. They don't want to see other girls kissing girls, and they got all upset. That's probably what it was. They
And
were
strong
jealous.
female leads are terrifying. Yes.
Oh yeah, forget strong women. They don't. Their mom is the only one they want to see. Okay, let's move. Let's go to the
This
last.
strong female doesn't bring me hot pockets in my basement. Yeah.
Mom, meatloaf.
I need Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now!
Watch South Park when they discover World of Warcraft.
Mom, bathroom,
What, hon?
bathroom, bathroom.
Oh, South
Off
Park.
camera, I'll tell you a story of when that did not happen to me, but I did get hooked on a game like that 20 freaking years.
EverQuest.
Yeah.
I forget nothing.
All right, so you're gonna lead
You
the
know
next
what's
couple
more-
here. Dawn of the Jedi, dude.
You know what's more sad
What's more sad?
than your addiction to EverQuest is me being like 10 years old thinking you were the baddest motherfucker alive.
Well, I mean, you were right about that, but for the wrong reasons.
Oh, shit.
Rim shot. Okay.
Rim shot. Wait. Hold on. Let me defer back to something. No. We got that. Okay. Andor, the big mystery. Yeah. So James Mangold will be helming Dawn of the Jedi,
Okay.
completely pitched by him as a sort of biblical epic Ben-Hur inspired, Ten Commandments inspired Star Wars movie, showing how the Force comes, not so much like where the Force comes from, but how it started like getting studied and worshipped.
Became like a formalized group around it, that sort of thing.
and then seeing what would be like the prototype of a Jedi Order. But there's like nothing about established characters or what the plot's going to be and stuff. But basically, yeah, and it's probably
But
going to
it
be
is
like a
happening
3 hour
for
movie.
sure, or it's just a wish list?
No, it's 1,000% happening.
Okay.
And outside of Logan, I'm not hugely into James Mangold's filmography, but
Oh, he did Logan?
yeah, that's the guy who did Logan. Logan is what
Ooh.
took him off the map. I mean, I know
That's-
he did like the Johnny Cash biopic and stuff and Girl Interrupted, but Logan is,
Logan was
once
gritty,
again,
dude. Really
a
gritty.
whole nother episode. I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so quick aside, and you may feel free to clip this out of the final cut. Deadpool versus Wolverine. I thought that was
Um,
really bad. Like, I did
It
not
was-
like that movie at all.
it was bad, but it had everything you came for. It had gore, it had 6 billion cameos,
It had
and
everything
it
that
had
those.
Hugh Jackman back. That's all.
It had everything that the same people who live in the basement who hated Acolyte had everything they came for.
I'm gonna fight you now.
It did not have a plot. It did not have acting. It did not have. It was. And
It
if
was
you
a
weren't-
perfect commentary on the state of the Marvel universe, completely riding on cameos and multiverse theories.
Yes, and if you
sprinkling
didn't-
Hugh Jackman.
Jackman.
I
If
found
you-
out he wore a toupee for that movie. How depressing is that?
That's because he's old, dude. If you weren't a comic book junkie, you didn't understand half the jokes in that movie.
Well, it was also, Marvel inherited all that Fox universe stuff. Like,
Here's the
I
thing.
remember being like 10 years old watching the OG X-Men movies with you.
Here's
And
why.
like,
Here's why the original Deadpool is infinitely better, as a movie as a whole. My
is.
wife,
I agree with you
my wife, who knows
1,000%.
nothing about comics at all, she couldn't name an X-Man. If she could, got $1 million to do it. She watched Deadpool and loved it.
Even the second one.
She doesn't
Even
mind
the
watching it
second
again.
one.
Second one was good. First one was
Because
great.
that was before Marvel just turned into this blob of, oh, well, you have to see the last 57 movies
Right.
and
Right.
read this line of comics. But
You didn't have to take prerequisite classes to
no,
understand the stupid
the
movie.
new one was just shitty fan service.
I am horrible at taking us on tangents. I apologize. Back to Dawn of the Jedi. And we're back.
You're fine. You're all good. So,
So,
oh, here we go. Dawn of the Jedi. On the planet Tython, I'm
reading right off of there. Okay.
I'm getting right into the nitty gritty. In the center of the galaxy, an order of warrior monks strives to maintain peace and balance, or peace and to balance a mysterious power known as the Force. But a stranger is coming, one who will destroy both peace and balance and open the galaxy to exploration and conquest.
Ooh. Light
Yes.
versus dark already at the very beginning. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's wrap up the last topic before we gotta put a bow on this puppy. The new trilogy, will it or will it not be a continuation of the Rey story? And I won't call her Rey Skywalker because that's cheating.
I'm Rey. Rey Skywalker.
Liar!
She's not a Skywalker. And do we even want it to be a continuation of that storyline? Or something completely separate?
No.
I've
Wipe
heard
it.
rumors it could be like Old Republic.
I'm still down for the Old Republic. I'm down with the OPP. No, I'm down for the Old Republic. There needs to be more of that. I from my younger years to now used to play Knights of the Old Republic, which was like this interactive role-playing game.
Yeah, yeah.
But so for me to see that,
You want to see
Revan,
some Revan. I say you want to see some Revan, don't you?
yeah, and they've already part of these online speculations is that Keanu Reeves has been tapped to play Revan, and any future upcoming that would
Well, I mean, if that would happen to be cool, but there's nothing official about that.
No. I know. I said the same thing about Nicolas Cage's Thrawn, which I still stand by. Hi, Nick. Oh, yeah, right there.
They cast what's his name because they wanted the same voice. They were just casting the voice.
I know because we got Thrawn with the dad bod.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
He was eating
I'm
those
okay
little
with
hermit
that.
crab people. It fills you up. They're high in fat. And I can't talk because he looks svelte compared to me right now. Here's why I want a continuation of the Rey story. I want something new. And the whole Old Republic storyline, maybe not in detail, but the storyline has been written. In video games and books, nothing new will come out of that. It'll be a detailed explanation.
That's fair.
of
That's
something
fair. You
that's
want a
already
fresh
happened.
take.
No one, not even in books or comics, has written that I know of anything past episode 9. Now, if they want to do a new trilogy and completely overwrite and erase episode 9, feel free, because that was an abomination. But I want
You can retcon
something
that.
new. I want something completely new.
Hmm.
But I'm hoping, as much as you love Old Republic, I'm hoping for something new.
Well, regardless of new trilogy, Daisy Ridley has already officially been put in place to do a follow-up Rey movie of her running her own Jedi Order, her quest to rebuild it. So
it is happening, whether it's a part of a trilogy or a standalone.
15 to 20 years later, we are going to at least see an older Rey trying to resurrect the Jedi with her own order.
That's quite the fast forward.
Yes, but I'm still perplexed that how's she going to teach the future generation of Jedi when she became a Jedi Master in like 1 year?
Same way Luke Skywalker did it, because he kind of fast forwarded through the process as an old dude.
Okay, that's true. He had some hardships though. Rey just no, I can't get on board with Rey. I'm not a fan of Rey, and that's not an incel talking.
Do you not like the character? Or do you not like the actress's job of the character?
Well, Daisy Ridley's okay.
Okay, so you just didn't care for the character.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I loved Last Jedi. It was just the 9th one that really screwed the pooch.
I was about to say, Last Jedi, I think, developed her character pretty well.
Yeah. If we could have had a healthy spinoff from who knows how I would feel right now. But like getting out of 9, like I just do not feel invested in any of those people.
9 did hurt the soul a little bit.
Rey Skywalker. Yeah.
I think I told you this already, but like I went and watched it after the first time I watched it and I wanted to throw up. I waited like 6 months. I'm like, okay, maybe you're just in a bad mood that day. So I made sure I was like super hyped. I got my favorite beer out. I'm like, all right, we're gonna enjoy. We're gonna pull all the positives out of this movie. And
No.
I hated it again just as much as I did the first time.
I was in denial. I was like shell shocked walking out of the theater. I was like, well, it had its moments. It had
No,
some Star Wars.
it did not.
Yeah.
It had a lightsaber in it. That's the only highlight in the whole freaking movie.
Yeah, and they
Everything
dueled
about it
with the
was garbage.
lightsabers like they weighed 500 pounds, like they were using medieval broadswords.
J.J. Abrams shouldn't even be allowed to go to Disney's Star Wars section, let alone go anywhere near a Star Wars script again.
No.
The guy
Yeah.
brutalized it.
And I feel like it was just out of an immature pissing match with Ryan Johnson, whatever. Yeah.
Ryan, they can book him to do more Star Wars stuff. I
You
like.
know how you're saying you want fresh face stuff going forward that no one's familiar with? That's what
he did.
That's what he did. Yeah.
Right. God forbid, like someone put a fresh take on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, dude. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Final thought. Anything related to what we talked about? Final thought. Go. Controversial final thought.
Final thoughts in general for our talk. I will never forgive the Acolyte for being canceled. The last episode of Kenobi will be burned in my brain until I'm on my deathbed. You know, as an unhealthy adult male, that's probably one of the few times I almost got a tear in my eye. I have no final thoughts. I have no idea where we're going with this stuff.
You piss people off.
Here's my controversial take. You know, I take the idea of what the Bible is, and I'm not religious at all. So I'm like, that's Star Wars to me. So if it's good, if it's bad, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to accept it, and that's what it is. And I'm
amen.
Amen. Amen. The whatever in the sky has made this come to be. Yeah.
So here's what I meant by I was watching some Food Network chefs the other day. Everyone gave their own little controversial opinion about food or cooking, and Chef Michael Simon, he's from Cleveland. His controversial take was deep dish pizza is not pizza; it's a casserole, and it
is a
pissed people
casserole.
off. Right. So here's mine about Star Wars.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
The stranger in The Acolyte is a better villain than Kylo Ren.
Oh, I stand by that 1,000%.
You know, most people don't. They won't. He's a better villain than Kylo Ren. He's the best Sith Lord we've had since Vader.
Okay, fine. The episode where the stranger mows down all those Jedis is more enjoyable and consumable than 80% of the run of Kenobi, most of Ahsoka.
and pretty much anything in episode 1 through 3.
Yes.
Maybe the lava fight scene, that might be anything in episode 1 through 3. That episode is better than. I hope that pisses all you trolls off. That's what we're here for. Next time we do a Brocast, can I get you
Marvel?
Yeah, let's do Marvel. Let's go with the Punisher Daredevil storyline.
That's good because you'll get caught up on Daredevil, and the last episode is next week, next Tuesday.
Oh, it's they're finishing it up next week.
Well, I mean, they're doing season 2, but the finale is.
Yeah. I need some Punisher in my life, dude. I love that guy. All right, I'm so happy that they brought him back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your almost 3 years of patience. I'm Dino. That's Josh. And we will be back soon. Signing off. Brocast, baby.
Love, peace, bro, grease.
Thank you. We're the Cantina Band. If you have any requests, shout them out. Play that same song. All right, same song. Here we go.